Kelly over at McGuire Kitchen and Bath, and we're going to take you through another remodel that we just completed for a lovely family, husband, wife, and 2 kids and a dog. And we called this Project Trifecta because we actually did their kitchen and 2 bathrooms in all at the same time. But the biggest part of this project really was combining 3 rooms into 1. So before, the family had a very small kitchen just over in that right corner, and the dining room was existing here. But I'm actually standing out was what was 2 rooms. This was a porch that was uninsulated, and this was actually a wall with a small peek through to see the dining room. So opening this space up made a huge difference and made this space really a full, complete, entertaining and chef's type kitchen. So I'll take you through some of the details. But lovely blue and yellows throughout, and we had a lot of fun designing with this client. So again, we took down 2 load-bearing walls actually, so this one, and this was actually a wall. So there was a small opening to get into the dining room, and the dining room orientation actually had the dining room this way. So in the new design, we were actually able to reorient the dining room and create this focal point to a television, because oftentimes this family is entertaining and they're watching football games together. So this really became a multi-purpose function room, and reorientating the furniture along with the kitchen design was something that we collaborated with them on to make sure that once we took down all these walls, it was going to work for their new space. So the island we actually centered in the kitchen is a nice 8-foot island, so it can span to fit 4 people, 4 in the family, for stools to eat, for them to eat at. And we actually had to put members underneath the island to reinforce because in this home it wasn't heavy enough. The load was too heavy to support underneath the floor. So a lot of pre-work went into the construction of being able to make this happen. For instance, the floors weren't level. So because these were 3 rooms, between this transition and this transition, there was a lot of floor leveling that happened. And then we decided to choose a tiled floor for that very reason, because this is actually on a slab. So continuing that throughout the kitchen just made for a very clean transition, and then keeping the hardwood focused in the dining room, semi-formal dining room. So throughout this kitchen, this family cooks a lot together. The husband loves to cook, and so with that in mind, we wanted to make sure, as we always do, keeping the work zones separated and not back to back. So there's no one in front of you when you're using the dishwasher, when you're using the sink, when you're using your cook station, and when you're using the refrigerator. But spanning the space throughout 3 rooms and 2 different ceiling heights was also a challenge, because we wanted to make sure that design and symmetry wasn't lost throughout, so it didn't feel like it was separated between 2 rooms. So we decided to flank 2 cabinets that were both the same width, and to create symmetry for this hood, even though one of the cabinets actually spans to the second room that has a different ceiling height. But keeping that same height for a tall cabinet next to the refrigerator also created this nice moment of symmetry. So when you look at the kitchen, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're in 3 rooms, even though you are. And another detail that I'll show you kind of around this kitchen was the pots and pans. So this client really loves his pots and pans. So it was an accessory that we made sure that we included so that all of those were stacked nice and neat and never touched one another. There's many different ways to store your pots and pans. Mine are just stacked in a drawer, but he has all these all-clad and beautiful pans, and he wanted to make sure that they stayed this way and nice for 20 years to come. Also some just places where we put the accessories. So they have a place for their Reynolds wrap. They have a nice drawer right here for all their knives. So when he's cooking and prepping, all of that stuff is readily available to him. We have a nice trash pullout as well. So double trash, sometimes I'll do often a full height trash so that you can fit both trash and recycling all in one, which is a nice feature. And then we did a nice sauce pullout as well. So sometimes in the spice pullouts, which I don't know that we needed in this kitchen because we had this one, but some of those spices aren't always those little guys. So you have these big spices, which they do because they're a family that loves to cook. This actually acts as, I call it a sauce pullout, but it acts great for those large spices. So in the materials in this kitchen, we actually decided to do mostly a white palette, and that's because the client knew that she wanted this to be her ever kitchen. So if over time she wanted to change it from a different shade of blue or a different color over time, that palette really came from the walls. So she picked a color that was perfect for, how it made her feel calming and all the rest. But for the cabinetry, we decided decided to go very neutral for that reason. But even with a white countertop, we did create some contrast with this beautiful gray, warm gray quartz, so that it played off of the nice stainless steel materials and things like that. So it's got some beautiful movement to it. So on a white palette, it really does pop. And then on their backsplash tile, we did this cute 3x2 tile. And if you look and zoom into the detail, there's actually this warm blue-gray outline around. So it's not a traditional subway. It really is built as a mosaic, but it still has those simple lines, something that will be classic and certainly be beautiful over time. Hi, Kelly from McGuire here again at Project Trifecta, and I'm here to show you what we did to the family bathroom. So this bathroom is just a tiny bathroom, but we actually reorientated a lot that was in this bathroom when we first began. We actually moved the location of the door. The shower used to be to this far left, and the toilet was further over. So the vanity used to be here. And while we when we were in the space designing, we realized that they would have a lot more footprint behind them if, while they're using the vanity, if we change the orientation of the tub. So there was an existing window that we then made an awning window, so it's just a crank out window to still let the natural light in, but it kept privacy for them when they were showering. So the tub shower became this back wall, and then with the extra square footage, we were able to do a nice deep linen closet. So the couple actually used to have a very tiny linen closet over here to the left because behind it was a chimney. So now they have a lot more storage and a lot more space within this bathroom, just a few minor tweaks. Hi, Kelly McGuire here, and we're at part 3 of Project Trifecta. And this was the upstairs bathroom. So this was one of the sanctuaries that the client really wanted to focus on. It's her bathroom, and we wanted it to feel, somewhere she could go and retreat, and that's what we did for her. So when we first, we'll show you the before pictures of this bathroom, but it was a lot different, a lot more closed off. And one of the details we worked on was the vanity. So behind this vanity is also behind this linen closet is also that chimney. So we did a step up of the vanity. So this one could be pure sink depth, but we still got some nice drawer storage in here for her. We just made those drawers shallow. And then this is actually an illusion. So I know it looks like a nice, deep, tall linen, but there's only enough space back there to getting about 9 inches deep. But we didn't want to make sure that she didn't have any place for all that storage. So this tall storage allows for a lot of medicine overflow and things like that. And we chose this beautiful blue color for the vanity, and we mirrored that same color on the cabinetry mirror for above the sink. And then that blue kind of takes a theme, not just throughout this whole project, but this blue we actually color matched to a penny tile that we put on the bathroom floor. So we chose this matte penny tile with a light grout that was just a nice pop of color between the blue and the dark blue and light blue and white field tile on the base. And then we paired it with some honey bronze fixtures. So that kind of soft gold tone throughout the bathroom, just adding a nice little accent against the blue for her bathroom. So on this shower, actually, I'll talk a little bit about this. This shower, when we first started, was just a huge wall block. And so in order to make it feel light and bright in here, we decided to do a frameless glass and just do a half wall that kept some privacy for that toilet area. So opening it up in this tone allowed you to still get natural light into the shower, which otherwise it was just a closed off dungeon and an otherwise non-working shower. So we made this a working shower as well. And thanks for joining.